Chapter 2. My mother named me Catherine because she said I was born with an air of sophistication. My tiny lips were curled up in the most peculiar manner that came across as terribly proper. I liked having a formal name as I grew older. My family came to call me Cat, but I preferred Catherine, as I felt it made me regal sounding. I enjoyed big, long words and using them in every sentence I uttered. My formal speech was no accident. I felt it set me apart from the rest. I was above my peers. I was intelligent. I was beautiful. I remember when my mother would be stuck working the late shift and I would sleep in her room. She had cable television in her bedroom. I would watch episodes of Dallas and Dynasty, all the while making mental notes on how to be an over-the-top driven woman. I just wanted to become an adult, so that I could have it all. The American dream. No man would ever provide it for you. You had to fight for your spot in this world. Nothing could ever take the wind out of my sails. That is, until I had to do the most revolting walk of shame known to the human race. That had to be the hardest walk home I have ever had to venture on. Box of office things in hand, the world knew as I passed by what had just befallen me. The elevator attendant just gave me a sad, I knew it would happen eventually look. The security guard smiled broadly. Pompous ass. My apartment was in a high-rise near my office, so the walk was really not far at all. No subway needed, thankfully. I would have dreaded the ride on the subway. Passengers would have stared inquisitively. Some would be bold enough to ask the blunt and obvious question. Some would go to great lengths to humiliate. Others would just glance occasionally. So here I was, lugging the minimal office supplies that belonged to me home. I felt this strange feeling that I had never felt before. Was this shame? Humiliation? Embarrassment? What was this new feeling? It wasn't a good feeling either. Not like what shopping does to you or eating at a really good restaurant. No, this was utter hell. It maximized the pain in my body, accelerating my age even further. It was always so easy to hide the pain, always so easy to take the pain out on everyone else. But now the pain was being inflicted on me from all directions. I had lost my power. It was gone. The queen had lost her crown. I received many sneers and blatant laughter. I even heard a sing-song version of "Someone Lost Their Job." It was overwhelming. I could not turn it off. I wanted to put my earbuds in and listen to some music to drown it all out, but that would require me to stop and put the box down to dig through my purse. Then what kind of treatment would I receive for slowing people down or making someone bump into me? I continued onward. Not that many steps left. I needed to figure some things out as soon as I got home. I was still very numb to the experience. I reached my luxury apartment high-rise with a new feeling of dread washing over me. How was I going to afford the massive rent now? How was I going to afford anything? I had zero savings. Every last dime of my earnings went to my extravagant lifestyle like all of my peers. When our paychecks rolled in, we paid the bills first and then used the excess for fun. My salary was 6 figures, so I had a lot of fun. Now that was all over. I walked through the lobby with my head downward. So unlike me. The reality of my situation was beginning to ring out like an extremely loud fire alarm, warning me of the immediate emergency at hand. What was life now? A tragic existence. I waited in the elevator in silence as I stared at the ascending floor numbers. 2, dread. 3, gloom. 4, despair. 5, destitution. What was left of me? Nothing. I got off at my floor and placed myself in front of my door, setting the box gingerly down to fumble in my purse for my keys. A glance at my phone, which was on silent, showed many notifications. I could not process clearly what was what. I turned it off as I unlocked the door. I turned on the light, shut and locked the door behind me. I all but dropped the box on the floor as I moved toward the kitchen. A quick peek in the fridge told me I was ordering out tonight. Who cares how much I spent? It was my pathetic, sordid life now. I started with the pizza place on the corner and ordered a large pizza with extra cheese. Then I ordered chicken lo mein from the crappy Chinese place a block over. I asked both to include a large Coke. For dessert, I asked the bakery across the street for a dozen cream-filled cupcakes for the lovely party that I was having. Said party consisted of me, Netflix, a picnic of junk, and a cat whom I never saw. The party was enough for me right now. I deserved it after the way I was horribly mistreated. There was no justice left for me. So there I was, mid-binge, huddled on my bed, surrounded by my food, when a frantic knocking sounded at the door. I tore my pajama-clad body from my bed and food on the 7th frantic round of incessant knocks. I hobbled to the door. The peephole revealed my closest friend, Charlotte. I saw her head down, looking at her phone, no doubt, and one hand knocking away. I opened it, and immediately she put on her luminous fake smile. She threw in a mock pout at the last minute. "Oh, honey," she hugged my neck as I stood motionless. "How did you find out?" I rolled my eyes behind her back. "Martin went on a Facebook rant. Sal is on his friends list. He went on and on about how your reign of terror was over. I think he even quoted The Wizard of Oz. Ding dong, the..." I held up my hand to halt her, ushered her in, and shut the door behind her. "All right, I get it, Charlotte." I threw myself on the couch. If I took her through my bedroom, she would expose the truth of my eating, and then Facebook would really explode with gossip about me. "Sorry." She sat down on the opposite love seat, looking around my spotless abode. "So, what are you going to do?" she asked. I knew deep down she wasn't the least bit concerned. She was just very nosy. She could not wait to share all my tragic gossip in a post on Facebook that she would no doubt hide from me. Gotta love the fake best friend. "I don't know yet. I figured I would sleep on it," I responded. "Well, for starters, how are you going to pay for this place? Nick Michaels has probably already blasted the word all over, blacklisting you from the publishing world. I mean, he does have that power. You will have a really hard time finding a job that will allow you to keep this place up." She was rambling. I knew she spoke the truth, but I was deeply offended. The truth does hurt. "That's not true," I shot back. "Tomorrow, I have the power to walk into any elite publishing company and demand top dollar for my salary because of my ability to work hard and my talent. I could land an even better job than what I had." Charlotte crinkled her nose and snorted slightly with a little laugh. "I doubt that, Catherine. We all know how you got your job with Nick in the first place. In fact, the whole world knows. And quite frankly, whoring around is not looked highly upon these days, especially when there are girls who are really smart and willing to put in the work to rise to the top without stepping on toes. It's a woman's world now." She gave me a knowing look. "What the hell is your problem, Charlotte? I am the one who lost my job, and you come here to my apartment to talk down to me and hurl insults left and right. Why not cut all the fake shit and comfort me for real, like a normal friend would?" I yelled. "A normal friend? Like one who sleeps with her friend's boyfriend because she was lonely and drunk one night after binging on Burger King? That kind of friend? One who tells all our other friends what a pathetic waste of space I am?" She stood up, shaking. "Come on, Charlotte." I did not need this confrontation right now. "You come on, Catherine. Miss, I will always be above you. How does it feel to be at the bottom? How does it feel to be the biggest joke to walk New York City? You say I'm fake? You are the vegan with the amazing job that is going to die any second from an ailment that no doctor can diagnose. No one likes you, not even your cat." I could see she felt proud of herself for saying all that, like she had been waiting for such a moment to attack me. "So, you come all this way to kick me while I'm down? Thanks, Charlotte. Now you can go." I stood up and turned away from her, motioning toward the door. "Catherine, I just wanted to tell you how it really is," she said softly. "I am aware of how it really is, thank you. I stated. She knew I was done talking. She turned and went out the door, quietly shutting it behind her. I promptly went over to the door and locked it, turned off all the lights, and went to collapse on my bed in a swirling mist of tears. I never cried. Never. If you have ever found yourself staring at a reality that is completely different than the one you thought you lived in, life tends to crash in harshly, abruptly. Never underestimate the power of a tragic situation. When life changes in an enormous way, it explodes in confusion, and yes, sometimes tears. Let's see. I was jobless, penniless, homeless, and now I was fast coming to the realization that I was friendless. I was alone in the world. I pictured myself as the bag lady on the corner, sitting on a stoop, coffee mug in hand, outstretched to receive coins and the occasional dollar bill tossed in hastily by passing pedestrian commuters. I would then scrape enough change to get a soda out of the machine near the corner store each day. My life in a nutshell. From royalty to pauper overnight. Well, this was the beginning of an amazing Lifetime movie. Crying is supposedly therapeutic, a complete release of an influx of emotions spilling out in the form of salty droplets that magically appear in your eyeballs at moments such as these. In this instance, this therapy was giving me a raging headache. Vodka! I have vodka! I rushed to the kitchen to swipe the giant and completely full bottle of vodka as swiftly as I could. It did not seem unreasonable to be drinking, and it was not even 6 o'clock in the evening. I started with the bottle of wine earlier, so I was already on my way to complete inebriation. Goals. We need them. Something to strive for in life. Fast forward to midnight, and I could barely lift my head. It felt like it weighed a ton as I did my best to navigate my way to the only bathroom in my apartment where I could violently puke my way on through the next few hours. I never fully grasped just how much alcohol I had consumed that day, but I did grasp the fact that I was hanging on by the tiniest thread. I had decisions to make, urgent ones, and I could not properly decide what to do with my head down the toilet. Have you ever noticed when you are really drunk, every sound seems amplified? Even the tiniest tick-tock of a clock can resonate internally as if the hands were inside your head, turning away as clockwork gears churned in your stomach. The hum of the furnace pulsates throughout your body, heating you from the inside out. Noises from the tenants in the hall scream inside your brain. Moments such as these, you feel the only way you could turn them off is if you were dead. And moments like these, you feel too weak to even try to take your own life, so you bargain with a God who is a stranger to your existence. Will you get off your glorious throne and put me out of my misery already? I waited in silence as my heart rate slowed. Good. That's progress. I laid on the cold bathroom floor waiting for death to come. A high-pitched noise resonating through my ears appeared out of nowhere. The room went all bright. Was this the infamous white light? Cool enough. I thrusted myself completely into whatever happened next, accepting all that which came my way. I released control and found myself floating away. Further than I wanted to go, it seemed, but still keeping with the complete surrender. My heart suddenly felt as if it were exploding into 1,000 pieces. My life felt as if it lay in a heap at my feet. What a waste. I have nothing to show for the brilliant life I so wanted to lead, the great struggle to get to the top, and now the enormous fall all the way to the bottom. I vaguely recall thinking that no one would even show up for a funeral. I would not even be discovered as dead until management would barge in months later, demanding rent be paid. My cat, who hated me, might have eaten my face off by then. My mother would not realize I was dead. She would chalk it up to me ditching her holiday because I had more important invites to attend to. I wonder when it would really sink in that I was truly gone. Sean would rejoice that his dreaded sister was dead, and he was the only child, perfect boy that he is. Everyone in New York would have expected this downward spiral and quick demise from me. Someone had to knock me down sooner or later, and it was going to be hard. Goodbye, cruel world. Parting is such sweet sorrow. Yes, I was still pretty nutso, even on my way out. I should have gone the way of the wicked witch and cried, "I'm Valentine," given Martin's glorious send-off. So this was it. I was on my way to the elusive afterlife. I wonder if they would have decent food. At least I would not have to watch my weight. Was I going to meet this God person, Jesus, Buddha, who would greet me? Let's get this show on the road. I am more than ready to begin the next phase here. Hi! I found myself in a small darkened room. I could feel myself and feel myself moving, but I could not see. "Who's there?" I asked. "Well, let's just say I am a guardian angel of sorts." The voice was so melodic that I believed it was an angel. "Why can't I see? Is it always so dark in heaven?" I was grasping all around me. "Calm down. We are not in heaven. We are currently in the darkest spot of your soul." Her voice was also soothing within the melodic tones. "Well, this should be an amusing trip," I shrugged, now fully understanding why I could not see. "Oh, it's not funny at all." The angel obviously did not subscribe to my favorite form of sarcasm. "I get it. I'm in a lot of trouble, aren't I?" I asked her. "Oh, yes. In every sense imaginable. In your life on earth, in a spiritual sense, your soul is very much at risk of being this dark all the time." She sounded extremely concerned and even alarmed. I found it of no consequence if I was dead. Just take me to heaven and get it over with. I mean, I did not put so much of myself at risk that I would be sentenced to that damnation crap. I did not even feel like I believed in hell. "Okay, I'm sorry." I apologized like I was asking her if that was what she wanted to hear from me. If I apologized, maybe we could get out of this overwhelming, dark, and depressing place. "What are you sorry for?" she asked, surprisingly perplexed. For the life I led," I offered. Silence enveloped the room for a moment. It was as if she was thinking of the right words to say to me, but grasping at nothing. "Don't be sorry," she muttered softly. "Why not? I am." I was starting to get annoyed with this woman, even if she was my guardian angel. "Because you should never apologize for a life you chose to live. Only you live it. You can decide to keep creating the same chaos on your own, or you can follow the path you were created for." She spoke with such authority, I almost jumped, but I was also confused. If it was over now, why did we need to talk about things that were long gone? "Okay, well, are we off to the afterlife then? Are you going to give me a tour?" I was impatient. Even in death, I was demanding of others. "Oh, goodness, honey, no," she answered, exasperated. "Well, what am I here for?" I was now angry. How could I be dead and still feel such intense emotions? "To show you the way to your new path, my love. You have a brilliant experience awaiting you if you choose to follow your mission." Her voice swirled around my head in slow, deliberate decibels as I absorbed this new information. What mission? I was not in the armed forces. I did not do missions. I was not physically strong enough to do such things anyway. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea what you're talking about. I began to feel a dull pain starting at my temples. "My dear, you are on the edge of a great awakening," she stated with wonder in her voice. "Awakening? I'm dead, right?" I raised my voice, and it shot through the top of my head with more throbbing pain. "Goodness gracious, no, dear!" She was reaching alarm status. "Then I am so sorry, but what the hell am I doing here?" My yell ended with a strangled cry as my head exploded with the most violent pain. "I'm sorry, love." All of a sudden, we found ourselves in my bathroom. I was sprawled across the floor, half naked, moaning and muttering in what appeared to be sleep. "What the hell is this?" I demanded. "This is called an out-of-body experience. You are starting to reconnect with your body again, so you may feel some pain if you are in it," she explained. I could see her features now. Long blonde hair and gorgeous ringlets, bright blue eyes. She looked every bit the good witch type. There goes the Wizard of Oz again. I knew in an instant if I had known her in real life, I would have automatically hated her for being so good and beautiful. I suddenly felt fat around her. "Before you were incarnated to this life, you chose this as a challenge. You wanted to push yourself so that you could accomplish your mission with this overwhelming passion. You have to awaken completely to really figure out exactly why you chose to be this way." She gestured to the hot mess on the floor that laid in a most indecent pose. "So reincarnation is really a thing then?" I asked, trying to distract her from my most embarrassing state. "Yes, but this is supposed to be your last time on Earth. You need to make it count. If you were to die now, you would have to come back and start all over again," she said glumly. The thought of coming back to this place multiple times and experiencing the same ugliness in the world all over again was too much to bear. "This all sounds exhausting," was all I could think to say. "Which is why you lose all your memory of it until you begin to awaken. Then you piece it all back together so that you can fulfill your mission and awaken fully to your purpose," she smiled. "Well, what now?" I asked. "I'm afraid you have to get back in your body and pick yourself up, make a plan, go to your mother's, enjoy your holiday, be open to signs and repeating themes that pop up. They will lead you along the way. Teachers will appear when you need them, and always remember to lead with your heart." She smiled as she slowly faded out and the world went black again.